Chapter 3, the biological basis of development.
Fertilization is the union of the sperm and the egg to form the fertilized zygote. This is where development begins, with the egg and the sperm.
The sperm is the male sex cell. It carries its 23 chromosomes in the head, or astrosome. It has a short neck and a tail for locomotion. The sperm remains able to fertilize an egg for 24 to 48 hours after ejaculation. Over 150 million sperm cells are released in one ejaculation.
The egg is much larger than the sperm and must be fertilized within 12 to 24 hours after it breaks free from the surface of the ovaries, and only about 400 eggs are released in a woman's lifetime. First, the sperm approaches the egg. Then the egg releases acrosomal enzymes to digest the egg's protective jelly coat. Then it binds with the receptor proteins on the surface of the egg. The plasma membranes then fuse together to allow the sperm nucleus to enter the egg and combine with the egg's nucleus. This results in the fertilized egg or zygote. This fertilized egg carries in it all the necessary information to create an individual like you and me. The DNA in this egg carries all the instructions to create a person's muscle, bone, nerves, and perhaps even personality.
But how does such a small thing carry so much information? It's all about the chromosomes. The zygote contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, that is, 23 chromosomes from the father and 23 chromosomes from the mother, for a total of 46 chromosomes. These teeny tiny structures contain thousands of genes. These genes are the instructions that dictate a person's phenotype, that is, a person's expressed features. For example, eye color, hair color, height, and many other traits.
But how? It's all determined by a super important chemical substance called DNA. Genes are in fact small pieces of a very large DNA strand that is tightly coiled to make the chromosome. DNA is made up from 4 amino acids: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine.
Each cell in the human body contains an exact copy of all the DNA. When extracted, the DNA can be mapped out like this. The sex of a person is determined by the genes in the 23rd pair of chromosomes. 2 X chromosomes indicate the egg will develop to be a female, and an X and a Y would indicate a male.
It is estimated that 1 in 1,200 females and 1 in 400 males has some kind of sex chromosome-related disorder. Klinefelter is a chromosome disorder. The genetic composition or genotype of this individual shows an extra X in the sex chromosomes, that is, XXY instead of the normal XY combination for a male.
Another classification of heredity disorders is caused by abnormalities in the gene pool. Tay-Sachs disease, for example, is caused by a defective gene that fails to produce an enzyme necessary to break down fatty material in the brain and nervous system. Tay-Sachs and sickle cell anemia are 2 gene recessive disorders. That is, they are only expressed when the individual possesses 2 recessive genes.
Down syndrome is caused by an extra chromosome. The individual has 47 chromosomes instead of the normal 46. But first to have chromosomes, the egg has to be fertilized by the sperm. And if the fertilization process does not occur, then the menstrual cycle begins. The menstrual cycle begins when puberty hits and usually continues through the reproductive years. Females experience a cycle involving activity of the brain's hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, ovaries, uterus, vagina, and mammary glands.
This process is called ovulation. Ovulation triggers a chemical reaction that inhibits the ripening of further eggs. Ovulation also prepares the uterine lining for a potentially fertilized ovum. If fertilization does not occur, the prepared uterine lining is shed in menstruation and the entire process begins again.
Occurs, the egg is enveloped by the fallopian tubes, which are the diameter of a human hair. Then fusion of 2 cells is quickly followed by the first cell division. The fertilized egg, or zygote, travels towards implantation within the uterus. Cell division continues, and the fertilized egg is now called a cytoblast. The Human Genome Project.
Hi, Colin. How are you?
Doing good. I'm here working on some homework for psychology.
I've heard that's a fun class. Anyways, did you hear that Jenny's having a baby?
Really? Boy or girl?
She's choosing a boy. His name will be...
Can't choose.
You can now. Haven't you heard? Since the DNA was mapped out, we can, and soon we might be able to pick and choose genes.
How cool. Technology is fabulous. One day I'm going to have a short, brown-eyed soccer champ.
Hi, Bernie.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm just shocked. I mean, I'm chatting with Colin, and he's telling me that soon we're going to have genetically engineered babies.
No way. That's a scary thought.
I know, but I think it kind of sounds amazing. I mean, no more guessing about the sex of your baby or what it will look like or the personality it will have.
Well, that's a good point, but have you seen the movie Gattaca?
No.
It's about this guy who wants to be an astronaut, but NASA won't let him because he has a gene that might cause heart disease.
Really? That doesn't seem fair.
I know.
And if used correctly, the technology can be really good. If we know what chromosomes or genes cause a disease, we can improve the chances of beating it. Take cystic fibrosis, for example. Thanks to the Human Genome Project, scientists identified a gene called CF. That may be a key to the cure. Adoption.
I wish Colin would get here already so we can sit first.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I almost forgot to tell you two. I'm going to be adopting a baby.
What? Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. But what kind of adoption will you be doing?
What kind? You mean they're not all the same?
I don't think so.
No, there's such thing as a closed adoption, but now, like when people adopt a child nowadays, it's mostly open adoption.
Oh, and what's closed adoption?
Closed adoption is basically when the biological parents, once they give up the child for adoption, then basically they have nothing to do with him at all. Don't see him ever.
So basically it's like the child has no genetic past and that the child's history is like sealed and just never revealed?
That's exactly how closed adoption works.
So open adoption is different?
Yeah, open adoption is when the mother of the child, when she goes to the adoption agency, she has a request that the adopting parents, they can be a certain nationality, have a certain income, number of children in the family, and she also could request that she sees the child or even talk to the child on the phone a certain amount of times.
Okay.
Oh, those are big differences.
Yeah, adoption nowadays is basically the process of a child having two sets of parents.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm really excited for you, and I hope everything goes well.
Yeah, just the word of advice I learned, though, if you guys ever want to adopt a child, make sure, look at the child's age group, because kids in age have the strengths and weaknesses, so just go by what you want.
Yeah, well, thanks for the
Well, thanks for the advice.
You're welcome.
Good luck to you.
I know. Infertility.
So, Brittany, how's your mom?
She's struggling. She's been trying to get pregnant for about 2 years now, and nothing's happening.
Oh, so does that mean she's infertile?
Yeah, actually, I just read today that 1 in 6 women actually are infertile.
That's
and
a pretty significant number right there.
I know.
Yeah, so what exactly did they say infertility was?
Infertility is when you try and conceive and have a baby, but you can't after trying for 2 years.
They shouldn't be frustrating, that's all I know.
Yeah.
Well, there must be other options, right?
Yeah, actually, like assisted reproduction, there's in vitro reproduction.
In vitro, isn't that when the egg is fertilized in the dish or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's cycloreservation where the embryo is actually frozen for future use. And there's always the option of adoption.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that one's probably easiest. Chapter 3, the biological basis of development.